News Channel 5 has been investigating the dangers associated with these meth labs for months now. And what we found is that there are few laws on the books that offer protection. It's definitely giving us a bigger picture of what's going on with this bridge. And we wanted to know, of course, how all of this could happen. So we dug a little deeper. I've spoken with several people who've told me they've witnessed drug deals happening on the northwest side of Rutland. They say if you spend a little bit of time outside a convenience store or a gas station, you can see one yourself. I just wanted to ask you about a problem that I found on the Vermont.gov website.
You have done more research than I have on this one. All I can tell you, this is a problem. We're here to fix it.
Forced to live inside this spa, work 7 days a week, and perform sexual acts on its clients. The thing is, law enforcement knew about the women. But we did find this. It's a lawsuit filed in Houston, Texas by Lawrence Lester and Decagon Company Limited.
Bridget has been handling it for us because I'm just too old to handle the stress.
So the proof of loss is going out for Al and his policy. And then will it also go out for the Norton House? And the Vermont Department of Health very recently educated some of their employees in Middlebury and actually showed our February Meth Menace series to those people who came in to get educated. And then a New York State trooper tells me that he has 8 to 10 training sessions scheduled in the upcoming months. Do you realize that this residue can cause health problems?
Yes, I do.
And you still won't call the health department?
No, I won't.
Initial thoughts after watching this?
Scary. And my second thought, Bridget, is you have certainly uncovered something.
This is the home on Military Turnpike in the town of Plattsburgh that state police say they found that meth lab in earlier today. In New York and Vermont, there are only criminal laws on the books, though, regarding the sale, manufacture, and possession of methamphetamine. But there's nothing regarding the cleanup of these hazardous labs or the toxic residue that they can leave behind in homes, apartments, or motel rooms. So we took what we found to somebody who can change things.
I know it's so dangerous that we have all kinds of protocols and requirements.
We showed New York Assemblywoman Janet Dupree a short video we put together. Initial thoughts after watching this?
Scary. And my second thought, Bridget, is you have certainly uncovered something that very few of us, if any of us, are aware of.
It details the one-pot meth problem in the North Country.
I don't see any potential decrease. I think it will only get worse.
Complete with a local landlord, adamant she would not contact a professional to help clean up after one of her tenants was arrested for having a meth lab inside his apartment. Will you get in touch with the health department to talk to them about what you need to do to make it safe?
No.
Why not?
Because I need to rent that doggone place. There's a dead horse to me right now. Nobody's living there. And I've got to get it back on track.
Then we showed her News Channel 5's test results from inside that apartment. We went in and we tested, we swabbed in the bathroom, and the meth lab was found in the upstairs bathroom. And so this is the end result here. They're EPA certified, and according to the lab, the meth residue levels are incredibly high, more than 7 times the legal limit in some states.
After everything was supposedly clean and it's off the charts, then,
right.
You know, we have a really huge issue here. And again, in an upstairs bathroom where the next family that moves in could put a child in the bathtub.
News Channel 5 also checked in with the Clinton County Health Department, the New York State Health Department, and the Vermont Department of Health. All 3 agencies said they had no guidelines for property owners looking for advice regarding meth residue and cleanup.
So they don't have they don't do this testing?
No, they don't do that testing. Wow. When we asked Vermont and New York State troopers about meth residue cleanup, both told us they remove evidence in any remaining parts of the lab, but do not do any cleaning. Neither does the Department of Environmental Conservation. They told News Channel 5 they only remove hazardous materials as directed by state police. We did find some cleanup guidelines on the Environmental Protection Agency's website, but those are only voluntary.
We certainly need to think about the long-term health effects on the next person who would walk into an apartment or a home. Mm-hmm. They should be able to know that it's safe and that it's been cleaned appropriately.
There are some federal laws in place, but they don't concern cleanup either. These laws limit how much pseudoephedrine you can buy at the pharmacy. The cold medicine is a key ingredient for any meth lab. That's why when you buy a box of Sudafed,
This is the pseudoephedrine log.
you have to show ID and sign for it.
The DEA will come by once every, not an ounce, but they'll come by. They definitely do come by, and an agent will go through the logs. And they're basically looking for repeat purchases.
The daily limit is roughly 1 box of Sudafed, but over the course of a month, you can buy up to 3 of them. Here's the problem, though. A 1-pot meth recipe needs only a box or 2 to actually get cooking. And depending how much pseudoephedrine is actually in your medication, you could need even less than that.
I think we're just scratching the surface of what we need to peel the onion sort of thing and go down the layers to find out exactly where we go.
Assemblywoman Dupree says her biggest concern is the health problems that can be caused by meth residue. This is something you're going to bring back with you to Albany.
Oh, absolutely. You've given me some contacts with the labs, and I will certainly reach out and talk to them about what we should be looking for in the criteria, because when we do a bill, we want to do it right.
Dupree says she's hoping to get some sort of legislation in play this session, but she says it's going to have to wait until after the state budget for the state of New York is passed, which should be hopefully sometime in early April. We will, of course, keep you posted, though, on any new legislation regarding this issue coming out of Albany. This is where investigators say the women were victimized for years, forced to live inside this spa, work 7 days a week, and perform sexual acts on its clients. The thing is, law enforcement knew about the women and knew what they were being forced to do. So the question tonight, why was it allowed to go on? And why did it take 9 years to bring any charges?
When you look at this case, you have to look back at history and see really failed approaches.
Chittenden County's top prosecutor, T.J. Donovan, admits other crimes took priority over the allegations of human trafficking and forced prostitution at Harmony Spa.
And I've been aware of this issue and this specific location going back to, I think, 2004. When there was police raids.
We've looked at it a number of times over the years.
Williston Police Detective Bart Chamberlain was there when authorities raided Ginza Spa in 2004, shutting down the massage parlor that authorities alleged doubled as a brothel.
At least one of the women told us that she had come to this country, she had to pay off a debt in exchange for being brought here, and that this was what she needed to do in order to pay off a debt to some, unknown third party.
Within that same week, a new spa opened in the same location with the same landlord, new management, and a new name, Harmony. Here's Detective Chamberlain in 2006.
The manager of the business, and probably the owner of the building as well, has had knowledge for several years that this is continuing.
Despite that knowledge then, it would be 7 years before authorities charged the landlord for allegedly knowing about the prostitution going on inside.
It has been difficult. There's no question. It'd be like any other, criminal enterprise taking place here, and if we're aware of it but unable to take action, as a police officer, that's a frustrating circumstance to be in for sure.
And while law enforcement waited, the victims continued to come through Vermont. Detective Chamberlain believes 2 women were brought in and out every few weeks to couple months. In the end, we're talking anywhere from 70 women to more than 300, allegedly enslaved and forced into prostitution behind closed doors. Do you think this should have been a bigger priority for everybody? It seems like everyone in town knew this was going on.
I don't know. I think when you look at this, you say, when you're trying to set up priorities in a system that is overwhelmed, that is under-resourced, and you're dealing with whether it's burglaries, robberies, drug issues, your focus tends to go there because it's front and center.
Donovan explains it was difficult to compile probable cause because the women wouldn't admit they were victims. Still, no charges against the Johns or the managers were ever brought, leaving victims advocates pushing for better, hoping for more protection for everyone in our communities in the future.
I think there have been a lot of missed opportunities for us to have made a difference in the lives of these women much sooner than what we did.
We didn't really know what to do. And I bear responsibility for that. And we're trying a new approach, and let's see if it works. We're hopeful it will.
The solution, Donovan says, is not necessarily working with law enforcement. He says the way to combat these massage parlors is through town ordinances requiring health inspections of places like this, and also state licensing for those who work at massage parlors. He said he's already been in talks with Secretary of State Jim Kondos about this very subject. When I called Kondos' office this afternoon, I was told he hasn't made a decision yet on whether or not he will require state licenses for those who work at massage parlors like this one. Live in Williston, Bridget Shanahan, News Channel 5. George?
Hey, Bridget, what about Vermont's Human Trafficking Task Force? Could they have done anything in this case to help?
Well, George, it's interesting. In 2010, Vermont did create a human trafficking task force. It's composed of law enforcement, victims advocates, people from multiple state agencies. A year and a half, though, from their first meeting, they still don't have any protocol set up to deal with situations like this one at Harmony Spa. And when I called the director of the task force 2 weeks after the bust here at Harmony Spa, she told me she had no idea what I was talking about. Live in Williston tonight, Bridget Shanahan, News Channel 5. Vermont's senior senator is being recognized for his contributions to the Church Street Marketplace because the officers in question and the town manager, McIver accuses of misconduct, had coffee instead of going to court. Back to the waterfront drawing board, another meeting tonight to try and figure out how to develop Burlington's shoreline. A little warmer out there today, still a little bit of a chill in the air.
Yeah, but. What did you ask me about 30 seconds ago?
Is there going to be more frost tonight? A new bridge connecting New Hampshire and Maine may rely on tidal waves to generate its lights. Well, maybe you've noticed this on your calendar. The combination of Thanksgiving falling late in November this year and Hanukkah falling early. Both sides say they plan to appeal if that decision is not in their favor. Tonight, a crucial vote is expected to decide whether or not the ER remains open or is turned into an urgent care facility. I tweeted at him. I said, I bet you didn't expect that you were going to be on the Vermont news making threats like that, but you are tonight.
Did you hear back yet?
I haven't heard back yet.
By lobbying.
I mean, I'm sure he's going to say he's busy or something like that.